Hello and welcome to the I Am Fearless podcast. I'm your host, Vickie, and man, am I glad that you decided to click and spend a little time with me today. Today's guest is Megan Moore. She is the founder of The Love Within Us. She sells affirmation decks, journals, and she also helped me to make those adorable little keychains, the I Am Fearless keychains that you guys have probably received. Welcome, Megan.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so happy that you're here, too. And you guys, Megan and I, we've been in here, talking, and we are some talkers. But I love it so much. And also, to Megan, let me just say that, your positivity is so contagious, and your spirit is so beautiful. I've called her cute 20 times.
I laugh. I'm like, oh, well, we just have to have fun, right? And it is that power of connection. And I think conversation is so natural for both of us. So it's going to be a great talk today.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was you had told me about how you had journaled for 100 days and incorporated working out. Tell me about that. How did you decide to do it? What point in your life were you at when you said, this is what I want to do?
Oh, yeah. So I was a mom of 2 under 2, and my husband traveled quite frequently. I kind of lost myself in motherhood, postpartum anxiety, depression, that just complete loss of identity. And so one day, I don't even know what that day was, but I remember waking up and saying, this is it. I can't live like this anymore. I have to help myself. If I don't fill my cup up in some way, I just don't like the mom, the spouse, the person I am right now. And that had to change. And so I delved into working out. I said, I've got to move my body, right? Because exercising, getting your heart rate up, moving your body, getting a little sweat in, that gives you all those happy juices. So I started there. And I would say about a month into that, I was doing that 5 days a week, 20 minutes, short and sweet. I'm not talking 2 hours of working out, kickboxing class, going somewhere. Nope, in my home, living room, very personal, very intentional that I did it. First thing in the morning before my kids got up, this was me time. And then about a month into that, I delved into journaling because I knew that, okay, I got a handle on moving my body, working on that. So now I had to work on my mental health, and I knew journaling could be a gateway to doing that. So I delved into affirmations, and so I just kind of started writing things that would empower me. Very basic, just I am worthy. I am enough. I am capable. I am fearless, right? And then I also did gratitude, and I would just write one simple sentence. So this was very intentional, 5 minutes before I worked out. And what it does to your brain, your brain listens to that. And it is just, it's powerful. And so, then I continued that for 100 days. And on that last day on day 100, I cried. I was like, who am I? I'm this new person. I feel good. I'm stronger. You know what? I am worthy and I am enough. And there is just power in talking to yourself a certain way.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I had did a little research over the power of journaling and the benefits from journaling, you guys. It's amazing. And I think that the benefits of journaling are pretty much almost the same as what they would promise you that you would get from medication.
Yeah.
It is a form of medication, you guys. It's definitely healing. There's stress relief benefits that's associated with it. And you were telling me earlier, too, about this documentary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. So powerful. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix. It's called Stutz, Stutz. It is Jonah Hill, and he created this documentary with his therapist who has this massive toolbox of things that you can use in your life to help you overcome just challenging thoughts, experiences, how to get you through life. Because, life's hard. We're going to have hard parts. And so he talks about this pyramid. And at the bottom of this, there's 3 parts to the pyramid, and the bottom of it is about your body. And I always kind of like to say, we're like a house plant, but with emotions, with a brain. And so, a house plant needs water. It needs sunlight. It needs, fresh air, things like that. So the bottom of his pyramid is all about the body. And it's all about taking care of it, like going for a walk, getting enough sleep. You eat healthy. You exercise. Get up and take a shower. Do that one thing that is going to take care of your body. And if you would just Google that, what can I do to help my anxiety? Or if I'm feeling depressed, what should I do? It's like the first thing it's going to tell you to do is go outside for a walk. Well, outside you're getting fresh air, you're moving your body, and you're getting real vitamin D. And it's like, boom, just by going for a walk around the block, you're getting these 3 important things that's just going to rejuvenate your body. And so that's the bottom of the pyramid. He says that's about 80% of your mental well-being. So very powerful stuff. And then the second one is about people, and that's your connection piece. And what I love about this pyramid is I just watched it last month, and I've been a mom for almost 6 years now. But this pyramid goes hand in hand with what new moms are lacking, right? Because you're so busy taking care of your family that you're probably not taking care of your body the way that you normally would. And you're not getting the people and the connection that you're normally getting because you're probably home. You're not working right now. And then, so that middle part is people, connection, going out, getting a coffee, having quality interaction, conversation, which it would be really huge for somebody whose love language is quality time, things like that. And then the top part is your relationship with yourself, which is one of the deepest levels that you can have, right? My husband can tell me how worthy, beautiful, and capable I am, right? But if I don't believe that myself, like that has to come intrinsically from me. So connecting with yourself, and he says one of the greatest ways to do that is journaling. And I watched this documentary and I said, oh my gosh, this is what gave me my life back, was this pyramid. It was this, light bulb moment again. Every year we can have all of those. And so he says just sitting down and writing, because when you write, you can get all your thoughts on the paper. You kind of start looking at yourself in the mirror, start realizing what thoughts are really important, what thoughts maybe I'm kind of blowing up this situation or interaction I had, things like that. So he says journaling is a beautiful way to connect with yourself.
I think that one of my favorite things about journaling, for me personally, is the ability for me to put things into perspective. Like what you were just saying, am I blowing this thing up out of proportion? And literally putting it on paper and reading it back.
Yeah. You're like, what did I just
What did I just say? And who is this crazy person writing this? But in all jokes aside, though, but it really does help you to put things in perspective. So once a person then has identified and put things in perspective, there probably is a lot of negative self-talk around it. Right? Because that's kind of where it stems from, the negative thought processes. So how important is it, do you think, it is for somebody to replace that negative talk with positive or affirmations?
Oh, yeah. Huge. I mean, I think the statistic is you have between 80 to 120,000 thoughts a day from the time you wake up to the minute you go to bed, and 80% of those, on average, are negative.
Whoa.
80%.
I have a lot.
And you don't realize it because it could be things, you're talking about yourself. Oh, I don't like the way my hair looks today, or I don't like my body, or my kids, da-da-da, or this person at this red light, and negative. And I will say this, people have told me, no, you weren't a negative people. Yes, I was. I feel like 5 years ago, I was a very negative person, and I've spent time pouring love, grace, and acceptance into myself for all of my flaws, all of my successes, all of my challenges, and the obstacles I face, like all my mistakes. And I've spent so much time accepting and giving myself grace. And when you can do that, you end up giving all of those around you love, grace, and an acceptance. So, what an example. Okay, my husband did something wrong today. It's like, that's, I've been there too, right? When, maybe 5 years ago, I'd have been like, oh my God, why did you do that? Now I have so much work to do and blah, blah, blah. I've got to come up and that's just some vague description, but it could be anything. Somebody cuts me off at the gas station line, and my first reaction would have been like, I can't believe this person did this. I'd call my mom and Tom, can you believe this guy did it? In that one instant right now, like, you're living in this space of negativity, and like, you're bringing that into your body. Like, your body is listening, your brain is listening. And so I had that happen like a year ago, and I thought, you know what? She must be running really late somewhere. She's got something going on. Maybe she's got someone in the hospital. Maybe. And I was realizing myself this love and acceptance and grace. Like, I didn't like that she cut me off. But you know what? Maybe she needed that more than I did right in this moment. And I have time.
Wow. Hey, okay, I'm not there yet, but let me tell you about my progress. Let me tell you about my progress because just the other day somebody cut me off, and I did curse at them, but then I was like, Lord, forgive me. You know what? Maybe, and then I said it. Maybe they have something going on. Yeah. I think that a big key is how long you stay there too. Because we're going to be changing. Life is going to keep lifing. Always. Things are going to keep coming up. How long do you stay in that state of negativity? It's great if you can't go there, but I don't think that any human is capable of that. But how long are you staying there? So then let me ask you, Megan, how important is it for people to be intentional with their lives when they're faced with a challenging period?
Yeah, so I think your first little question, a lot of times based on just what you're going through in life, and then maybe the environment, people that you're surrounded by could be really negative, and that doesn't help. But I think at the end of the day, you have to realize and accept that, I don't like the position I'm in right now. I don't like the person I am right now. I don't like the thoughts that are in my head right now. And, your mom or dad isn't going to come and pick you up and fix that for you. Your husband isn't going to come and fix that for you. Your kids, that is not anybody's job to come and pick you up and shake you and say, time to change. Like, you have to realize and say, you've got to do that yourself. You have to be your hero. You are your greatest advocate. And if you don't believe it, that won't happen. You have to put that into action. You have to, you've got to pick yourself up from the bootstraps, find help, recognize it. Maybe that does look like going and talking to someone. Maybe that does look like medication. Maybe that does look like getting up early and working out and journaling first thing in the morning. And there are resources all around you. But I think you've just got to do that yourself. Like, you've got to,
And by the way, Megan has a list of resources. We're going to get to those at the end. But I also wanted to ask you then, what do you make of people? Because you're right. It's all about being accountable. First of all, let me address that. Okay. Right, yeah. It is all about accountability. You're right. Nobody's going to come to save you. You have to do the work. And I think that sometimes it escapes our thoughts as to how much work it is, how much work of undoing, unlearning, learning new, oh my gosh, girl, learning new things, right? And adopting them as our daily practices and rejecting old thought patterns and behaviors that no longer positively impact us.
Yes.
So, right, it's
golden.
Yes. It's all the work, it's a lot of work there, but I want to know then, what do you think about, what do you make of the people that don't believe in journaling, that don't believe in getting outside and getting that vitamin D and doing the work?
Well, I tell you what, I just don't. I'm gonna give them love, grace, and acceptance.
First of all,
I think, where was it? I saw something. It was a reel. It was where it said, anybody that says they don't need a therapist, they're the one that needs a therapist the most. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's true. But I think all you can do is plant seeds, and it could be that they are at whatever rock bottom they're at and they don't see the light of the day. Maybe if we're talking about mental health, anybody who has severe anxiety or depression, you're talking about somebody who can't get out of bed, can't brush their teeth, don't take care of themselves, people having panic attacks, in that serious, deep anxiety and depression. That's really hard, and maybe they do need someone helping pick them up to get them started. But I think it's all about planting seeds, and part of self-care and mental health is also realizing the people that you're around. If I'm also around a lot of negative people, right, I'm going to be in that. Do I want to be an addict thinker or a basement thinker? You listen to your thoughts. Again, you wake up thinking today's going to be a bad day. Guess what? It's going to be a bad day. If you wake up thinking, gosh, I feel so grateful, gratitude, oh my gosh. If you wake up thinking that, you're just going to have a good day, no matter what gets thrown in your way. You step and gum, that sucks. That girl cuts me off in the gas line. Well, that wasn't really nice. But it's nothing's going to get you down because your body listens to your thoughts. So plant the seeds, I guess, is my answer.
That whole your body listens to your thoughts is really, it seems like just such a small statement, but it is serious, you guys, because I have done some studying and research behind the impact of reliving traumatic events and how your body does not know the difference if it's happening or not.
What book are you talking about?
Joe Dispenza. I think he, or it could be Eric or Eckhart Tolle.
Oh, okay.
The Power of Now. I'm into those guys.
I love that book.
Girl, I'm into those books deep.
Yes. Well, there is one specific on that. It's called The Body Keeps the Score.
Ooh, okay.
The Body Keeps the Score, and it's all about how this doctor, he's been a doctor for, decades, 40-plus years probably, and he did extensive research on soldiers and new moms with PTSD. And so it's how trauma affects your body. And I've actually struggled with it. I don't know if I've told you, but I suffer from PTSD. And so it's been a healing process for me. And so I've actually struggled getting through the book because when he talks about trauma, I think of my trauma and it gets really difficult. So I'm listening to it, but it has such incredible information about people who don't believe trauma, okay, if you were in a car accident and now that person is terrified to get in the car, this exterior person doesn't really understand what they're going through. It has biologically changed them. It has changed your brain patterns. And the amount of cortisol that's shifting through your body. So any time that I have a flashback, nightmare, somebody talks about, I see and I hear things that remind me of that event, your whole body goes through that event like the day it happened. So it is just incredible book, so highly recommend it. You'll have to read it to learn more.
Oh, I definitely want to. And, so one thing, too, this interview was, because we're almost here at the end, but I just want us to touch on one other thing that we had discussed prior to us getting started, and that was moving through grief, because loss can be super traumatic. And whenever you've lost somebody and you think of them, you start getting those feelings again, and then you can just be in tears. And as I've shared with my audience before last year, I lost two family members back to back, and then I suffered a miscarriage shortly thereafter. So it was just loss after loss after loss, and so I am interested in learning what type of affirmations Megan uses when she's navigating through grief and through loss.
Yeah, I think loaded question, easy question, but also loaded. I've done so much work myself on my mental and emotional well-being that I think that I felt equipped to handle it. I'm not saying it was easy because we just also experienced loss in our family. It was tragic. It was immense grief, shock, despair. And so my husband and I were very open with how we speak about where we're at, how we're feeling, what we're thinking, how we can support one another. You know, we can't read each other's minds, but we can be open and communicate those needs. And so that really helped us. But I will say, on the affirmation part, I actually have a whole note. I journaled in my notepad in my phone. And I remember I started thinking, I am resilient. We will get through this. I am in control. I can control what I do right now. I am capable of rest. I can take this time. And then I started saying things like, no, I am not strong. No, I am not capable. No, I am not in control. No, I am not. And then I started spiraling and I, just bawling because grief hits and there's a cycle to it and everybody experiences it different, the length of time and that you're in that certain or just the grief cycle in general. So I think making sure that you're finding something positive to say, and if you don't have something positive to say after that, that's where it stops, because you can't let your brain take that over. You are resilient, and you will get through this. This is hard. You are in control. You can make yourself eat breakfast today, It will be hard, but you can do it. And so just really speaking, pick one short phrase and just stop there, Don't let yourself spiral, which I did. And then I journaled about it, which was helpful, which is a part of release. It's a part of, I think, healing. And I'm sure, as you've experienced with utter shock and grief, is that as hard as it is, one day, you're not going to always just cry at their loss. One day, you're going to share a memory and laugh and smile. And that's just part of that healing process. And it's hard and it hurts. And, but we will get through it. And their memory lies within us. So.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. All right. Well, Megan, I want to thank you again so much for joining me today and sharing all of these amazing... Oh, really quickly, before you go, tell me the resources. I almost forgot.
Oh, yeah. So anything, I'm going to make it short and sweet. Anything Brene Brown. She has several podcasts. You can't go wrong. 10 things mentally strong people don't do. It's things that you already know, but she gives you really great guides throughout each chapter. Super Life by Darren Orlean. He focuses on the different 5 life forces for your body to be healthy and fit, which, as we know, is 80% of this pyramid, taking care of your body. The Body Keeps the Score, that's about trauma. Atomic Habits and the Slight Edge, it's all about making daily choices that's going to lead you to live a happier, successful life. So excellent resources. And Steps, the documentary.
Yes, the documentary. I cannot wait to watch that documentary. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. Megan.
Yes.
I forgot to ask you the question that I ask all of my guests. Forgive me.
I am ready.
You're ready.
I have been practicing.
So, Megan,
yes.
I like to ask all of my guests this question, and I'm very interested in learning what your idea of success is. So, Megan, can you tell me, what is your idea of success?
Yes. So, because I listened to your podcast, and I'm so grateful for it. It's so beautiful. I would like to steal Evelyn's her definition of success, because when she said that, I think you had her repeat it too, and I was like, yes. Rewind, listen to it again. Her definition was exceeding your own expectations, because I think success is so personal to the person and what you've been through, your experiences, your life. And, I think as a kid, like I think about my kids, and their answer would probably be to the effects of a big house, a great job, lots of money, things like that. And I think, that's a societal thing, but ultimately deep down, success is so personal. So I loved her definition, exceeding your own expectations, because it's up to you then to get out of your comfort zone, to do something new, to push yourself to be your best. So I loved that. But if I had to say, in regards to my business, success means changing lives. And if I had to say success for my family life, my home life, I would just say happiness, going to bed each night with an extremely full heart, full of gratitude. That is success. Yes.
That answer was definitely worth us firing up these cameras.
That's right. Come on back.
Put on these ring lights, baby. Lights, camera, action.
Yes.
That's a fantastic answer, and thank you so much for sharing it. And Evelyn's answer was good.
It was good.
You reminded me of that. And actually, now you're inspiring me to do something. I think I'm going to make a composition video of everyone who's been on the show.
Oh, that's good. Like its own little episode.
Yes.
Ooh.
Talking about their idea of success.
Love it. Like come back to the round table.
Right?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Yes. Okay. All right. Now we're going to say goodbye for real this time, you guys.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Megan. It's been a pleasure.